not about the money, Spider-Man. It's about the Mets, baby.
It's about the Mets.
Well, David, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it, bro.
What is happening? Somebody explain to me what is happening in this story here.
Hello and welcome back to C4B TV Reacts. I'm Magic. I'm here with David.
Back again. It's about time. It's about time.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we last recorded one, David, and what better way to celebrate this moment than with some more Dr. Phil.
For the last 5 months, she's been embroiled in a textbook romance scam.
My man, Dr. Phil, with the scams. That's my favorite Dr. Phil content is the scams.
Hey man, Dr. Phil's out here. It's always $100,000. It's always some crazy number. But I'm excited to hop in, man. Let's.
Dr. Phil don't do no chump change scams.
All right. So this lady, just for background information, as we are about to find out, deepfake scams. Dr. Phil's take on romance.
Absolutely. It's this is very common for Dr. Phil for the show, is the romance scams. But now with the AI and the deep fakes, it's just kind of ratcheted up to another level. The last time we watched Dr. Phil, we watched the Real Estate Ninja. Real Estate Ninja. Come on, man. The Real Estate Ninja was the scam, right? And we speculated, how could this unknown person pose as the real estate ninja? Was it a voice modulator? Was it a deep fake? Was it AI? Well, here, we're going to see how they do with the deep fake.
I know this is tough, and you're really torn because you're invested in this relationship.
Correct.
This. All right. David, I know we're just starting out this video, but how do people get so invested? How do people get so invested in things that aren't real? Maybe this guy's just really good. Maybe this is some really good deepfake content, but you never called him on the phone? You never FaceTimed? You never met up? I don't know the time frame here, but it's not off to a great start for me.
I think a lot of it, because I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat as you. I don't get it. But I think a lot of it comes down to this, is that people are naive about the internet and communicating with people on the internet. When I was a kid, the first thing I learned about the internet is trust no one on there and don't go blasting your information out all over the internet. So growing up like that, I'm in tune. I know I'm always on the lookout. I'm always looking over my shoulder. Is this a scam? Is that a scam? I'm always paying attention. But I think for other people, they don't think about the internet like that. And so they just assume, why would somebody try to scam me? This just must be the man of my dreams over in whatever country he's trapped in. And he just needs a little help to the tune of $100,000.
We'll just keep watching, but $100,000.
How you doing?
I don't do well. I told you I need some medication. I feel sick. I just got the last medication.
So you're feeling sick?
So very sick, baby.
Oh.
And the only thing that will cure me is $500.
All I need right now is some serious hard Instacash from my Chime account. Please.
She's dating like an ATM.
It's a whole lot of pain I deal with. I can't sleep night, and they're gonna lock me back in there, and I have to deal with it over again. And don't know how long. I can't help it. They're just gonna come in one day and find me dead, and then they can send the photos to you.
He's really laying it on thick.
I don't know how much of this is gonna make it in, but essentially, this guy is really going for the guilt trip here. He's really going for that. You want pictures of me unalive right now? Is that what is that what makes you happy? And she's just like,
yeah. And
I'm assuming her card is like her stuff is locked because of the amount of money she's already
Oh
sent.
yeah.
So
I mean,
her bank is like, yo.
and clearly this guy, he's from another country. Is usually how this goes. He's overseas somewhere else, you know. So that's why you got to help him out. He's like, I only need $500. Well, you take $500 over another country and you exchange the currency, and that could be more than $500. And also, I don't know if $500. I don't know if I just go around throwing around $500. That's not like it's always like I'm just asking for $500. I'm like, $500? You're just asking for $500 from me. Okay.
Hey, David, can I get $500 though, for real?
Hey man, that's no problem. I mean, that's not even a whole lot.
I need help. Please.
Okay.
Thank you, babe.
Okay.
I'm gonna call you back right now. Please pick up.
Okay, I will. That's why I don't call him or answer the phone.
So, all right, back up. So she doesn't want to call this guy. She doesn't want to answer the phone. But she is so attached to this guy. Her heart is absolutely broken.
I mean,
I don't get it, man.
I would say if you have to avoid calling your significant other, the love of your life, because all they will do is beg you for money, I think you could just break up with them. I think you could just call it quits.
I mean, if you've never seen them, if you haven't really FaceTimed them, if you really don't know who they are, yeah, that's a pretty good answer. And you know, let's also take into account, right? Let's also take into account that this is a real problem. I get it. I understand. Yeah. I understand how people get into this situation, but also it's a little goofy. From an outside perspective, it's just a little goofy.
It is. But you know, I think romance is goofy. You know, love is goofy. So that's why they hook you with it. That's why it's the romance scam. Because when you're in love, you'll do all kind of crazy stuff just to help out the person you love. Even if it's sending them $500, you know, Giant Eagle gift cards overseas to a jail so they can use it to buy medication.
And evaluating the motives that you hear coming through on Kane's part, do you believe that he is treating her like someone you love genuinely could and should be treated?
Absolutely not. And I think Lucy will back me up here, it's one-sided. Mm-hmm. The power dynamic is completely out of whack.
No. I thought this was like some FBI dude or something like that. I didn't realize it was
the host of
just
The Bachelor.
All right, Chris, tell me how it is.
Just to explain, the card are $500 cards that she's able to send over to the UK. That's one way they found after they froze her assets to get him money.
UK. He's from the UK. That maybe I'm tripping. That accent didn't sound so UK.
You know, I mean, he's from out of the country. He lives in the UK. And they froze her assets. I think that's a pretty good sign that something's going wrong.
They're like, hey, please stop giving money to something you've... Just please stop.
Please
this is why they freeze your stuff. This is the actual built-in security safety system of freezing assets. So that you don't get robbed. So that you don't get scammed. And this lady's like, I don't know, man.
I don't know. $500
gift
cards.
Real.
This could be love.
Where's he from?
He came from Miami, Florida.
He came from Miami.
Oh, he's an American.
So
He
that's
lived
a
in
Florida.
Miami.
That's a Florida accent. Ooh, Dr. Phil always just cut straight to the chase. He's like, lady, are you dumb?
That's what I said.
That's what I said, bro. It's not Florida. It's not an American accent at all. I don't even think it's UK. That sounded like, you know what it sounded like, David? This video on our channel kind of flopped, but it sounded kind of like the same guy from the catfish video.
It did. It does kind of sound like him. It does kind of sound like him.
I'm Alexander. I'm not Flavor's manager.
There was no remorse. There was no empathy. My gosh, Lucy, I'm so sorry I put you in this bind. You know, none of that before getting back to the focus, which is obtaining more money.
Yeah, I feel really bad for this lady though. Like, actually, because that's actually a horrible situation to be in. But it's also like once you get your stuff frozen, like for me, if I go like 2 states away, my card gets frozen, and then I have to do all this work to call the bank. I have to explain I'm in New York for Fashion Week, right? I have to do all that extra legwork.
Yeah. Even sometimes for me is like, I spend $200 and the bank goes, oh, that's kind of a lot of money. Did you mean to do that? And it's like, yeah, I did. I'm still in the state I live in. I'm spending it out of my bank account. It's not that suspicious. And then when you look at stuff like Zelle, for example, which lets you transfer money between banks, every I don't know what the period of time is, but every once in a while they will make you fill out a form that says like, I understand what scams are, I understand how to like see them and know them, and you know, and they make you kind of do a little pledge every once in a while just to remind you that the scams are out there. So, you know, it feels bad watching a woman who's in love get scammed, but you know, you gotta step back and really think, especially when your assets are frozen.
He kept saying that if I don't do this or do that, then they were gonna send him to the Netherlands for trial.
What?
Just send me to the Netherlands. What? That's the bad thing that's gonna happen?
If you don't give me money, they will punish me more.
You're already in jail. Is it that bad to get sent to another country and go on trial?
Look, David. I'm really trying to find a place in my heart to understand the situation. I really am, but
Well,
it's tricky.
Well, this is this is what happens when you let this thing go on for so long. You dig yourself into this crazy hole where it's like, this all stopped making sense like at the first $1,000 it stopped making sense, but she just kept going with it, and now she's in this situation where even if you tell someone the situation that you're in, like what are they gonna think?
Okay.
He hasn't left yet.
Well, but if he does, or if he gets sick and goes, God forbid, into a coma or worse, this is somebody that's blackmailing you. Mm-hmm. We don't wish bad things on anyone, but on the other hand, if I'm going to stop somebody from walking into traffic, he may be low on the list.
Oh, hit him with it, Dr. Phil. Hit him with that natural selection.
That's not where I thought that was going, but good one, Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
Stop him from walking
I
into
thought he was about to
traffic.
do the traditional, like, we don't wish bad upon other people,
But
we can't control our own actions. And he's like, hey man.
I'd push him.
What's your greatest fear?
My greatest fear was to get blackmailed.
Congratulations. You got blackmailed. Just like that.
Please, there's only 10 minutes left. There's only 10 minutes left.
Now, Kathy is Lucy's best friend of 30 years. She says she has never seen Lucy so convinced of something, so convinced that Kathy even sent Kane $80,000 of her own money.
Stop. What? Hello? What is... All right. Wow. I'm right with you there, Johnny. I don't know if we're making it to the end of this one, because this is incredible. This is incredible.
What the?
I don't even know what to say at this point.
My best friend is so dumb.
Yeah, you got to get some new best friends, dude. Come on. 80,000. So first of all, I don't know if I have a friend who I would send $80,000 to overseas to their significant other that they've never met and who only has a first name and who they've never seen before. You got to be a real good friend. You got to be a real good friend.
I don't know why, dude. That got me, dude. That got me so hard.
That's insane. That is literally insane.
At first, I was very skeptical of Lucy's relationship with Kane. It was picture perfect scam. But I have never seen Lucy so convinced with anything in her life. About 4 months ago, Lucy told me that Kane needed money. And so I decided I would help her. First payment was for Kane to get a private jet to New Orleans.
What is happening? Somebody explain to me what is happening in this story here.
This can't be real, bro.
Because I have no idea what's going on anymore.
I felt that that was reasonable. It was $18,000.
Hey, David, I'm gonna need 18 grand here right quick.
That sounds reasonable.
1,500.
18 grand?
I sent a cashier's check. They demanded 80,000. Lucy said I can't.
18? I said 80. 80. So in total, we're at $210,000. By the way.
$210,000. Well, just hold on, because how much did the son send them? How much did, your pastor send them? Who else did we rope into this very obvious scam?
Okay, all right, David. All right, so in case we can't use that, in case it gets claimed, her friend, bless her soul, was a great friend and was like, you know what, I got you. Let me cover like $80,000 extra.
$80,000 extra.
Now, David, let's have a serious conversation here. We're friends, right?
We could have a very serious conversation here.
David, are we friends? Are we friends?
We're friends. We're good friends.
All right,
we're good friends,
right? So in about 5-10 years, right? When I start talking to this dude named Kane over across in the UK, right? And he's like, "Yo, hit me with that
$80,000 extra.
If I do something stupid like that, make sure you also donate $100K, just so I don't do it alone." I know what
you got to go in on it together as friends. Yeah. I mean, I'm very much a firm believer. If you are someone's best friend for 30 years, it is your responsibility to talk them out of doing all of this stuff. That is your moral responsibility as the best friend. Is my opinion. And she mentioned in the segment she was so happy. I'd never seen her more happy after her husband passed away. But she wasn't happy. She was being blackmailed. How happy could she have been with this dude saying, "I'm gonna send your unmentionable pictures to your son, to your other family"? How happy could that have made her? So clearly she wasn't happy. So you dropped the ball, lady. You dropped the best friend ball. You were caught lacking while on duty.
I mean, realistically, right? This is a accountability segment where it's like, look, realistically, if that's me and you, and you're doing some stupid stuff, I'm gonna be like, yo, David, I gotta be honest with you, bro. I don't think it's very smart. I think, I understand how you're feeling right now, but $100,000 is like a whole ass house, bro. You should probably hold on to that. You probably should.
Probably.
You could probably invest that in Bitcoin, bro. Like,
or
come on.
Or, you take that $100,000 and you fly to New Orleans and you meet up with this dude and you get him a lawyer and then you figure this stuff out. What do you mean you bought $18,000 private jet ride to New Orleans and he didn't show up for the ride?
Yeah.
$18,000.
$80,000 extra dollars.
If I lose it, I lose it. Money doesn't mean as much to me as my friends.
No.
And look, I'm saying no to that too, but the issue isn't that you gave him $80,000. I mean, that's an issue. Clearly that's an issue. But the issue is that,
David, I'm sorry. I literally had to leave. I had to actually leave for a second, bro.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy. From my point of view, it's not about the money. It's about the fact that you were more worried about your friend appearing to be happy than actually taking care of them when they needed it. Like, she failed her best friend. She failed her because she knew it was a scam. She knew it was wrong. She knew it was BS. She sent the initial 18. He flaked on the private jet ride, and she knew it was a scam, but she wanted to convince herself that actually it was all real because she didn't have the heart to tell her best friend the real deal. She didn't have the heart to really lay it down and be like, listen, I know you love this guy. Honey, this is a scam.
My biggest problem, David. Look. If it was like $20, you can say it's just money. When it's $80,000, when it's $130,000, it's not just money, bro. It's not just money. That is a whole Bitcoin. That is a whole house. That is a whole yacht. That is a whole sports car. That is a whole expensive item.
Yeah.
Like, give me $80,000 if you want to blow some money, bro.
If you got it like that, if you got it where $80,000 isn't life ruining for you, that's cool. That's great. But it's not only the money. It's not the $80,000. It's not only the $130,000 and however much they sent. But it's also your best friend has lost access to her money.
Yeah.
Her assets are frozen. So not only has she lost the money, she's lost access to further money, and she's jeopardized her financial situation for the rest of her life, possibly.
It's not about the money, Spider-Man. It's about the Mets, baby.
It's about the Mets.
Well, I use the word relationship loosely because you've never actually met in person, right? But you've seen some pictures, maybe. Like you saw a picture of him in jail, right?
David, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it, bro. I'm not gonna make this. Look at this. Look at this. Like, you know what? This looks like Hugh Jackman like fan art.
Well, we did some investigating, and we finally got to the undeniable truth. Now, Lucy, this is a picture of your cane, correct?
Mm-hmm.
David.
What's up?
You think he's real?
That's Dr. Robert. That's Dr. Robinson Kane. That's him. That's the guy. Blonde hair,
the man
green
in that
eyes.
Picture is here, and I'm sorry to tell you this, Lucy, his name isn't Kane. His name is Dr. Steve G. Jones. And he's a hypnotherapist living in the United States.
Maybe he hypnotized himself into thinking he was Dr. Robinson Kane.
They were like on a call one time and he was like, "You are getting sleepy. Now would you wake up?"
$80,000 extra dollars.
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you for taking time out of your life to...
Did that dude make a portal to get in here, bro? That dude take a break from saving the world? Dr. Steven over here?
Identity was stolen.
Yes, sir.
You've seen it in that picture. Do you remember that picture at all?
Yes.
David, I have a crazy theory.
What's that?
Imagine this guy actually stole... Imagine this guy stole $210,000 from these two women and played it off like he got his identity stolen.
That would... The perfect crime. It's the perfect crime.
Gotta be. Locking it in. What do we think, chat?
How does it feel to see Kane in the flesh?
I knew it wasn't him.
Well, then
Is
what
this
are
the
you
first
doing
time
here?
that your picture...
Then what are you doing here? I knew it wasn't him. Then why? Why
Who do you think it was? I want to know who you thought it was. David, we gotta wrap this video up, bro. We gotta wrap this up. We gotta...
2 minutes. Let's just wrap it.
has been stolen?
No, it's been done thousands of times, unfortunately. There have been many victims, and I'm very sorry to hear about that. And that's just what they do. And it's been going on for a long time.
So does it make you wonder who is behind it? If it's not him, who is behind that picture?
Right. That's what I want to know.
It's the real estate ninja. Thanks for watching, everybody.
We're Skyping. It's him. And how did they do that?
Oh, it's a deep fake. These are, let me tell you, there are ads out there right now of me selling products that I've never even heard of. And it's me talking. Have y'all seen some of those? And it's called a deep fake. You're seeing an image with a voice, but there's nobody there really.
Yeah.
I'm baffled at two things. Number one, that someone believed a deepfake. Number two, that the deepfake actually worked on like Skype calls. That is actually really crazy to me, and it's also very scary. So, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, you.
I'm gonna go watch iRobot again and cry.
Yeah, I mean, you would be shocked. You are shocked currently by what people will fall for. And I've seen other deepfake stuff. I know someone did a deepfake of Matt Damon. They thought they were dating Matt Damon, who also somehow ended up in prison at one point during their relationship. And you would be surprised by how crappy the deepfakes are, but just how willing people are to believe they're real. And the scary thing is, 5 years from now, you legitimately might not be able to tell anymore. They might be that good in the future. You might not even be able to tell.
I can't handle anymore, David. This is actually physically exhausting me. I don't know why.
Yeah,
This is a lot. This was a roller coaster of emotion. I have felt too much laughter, too much anger, too much pain, and too much I'm shocked. I really am shocked.
I mean, I was well and truly shocked when she talked about her friend giving $80,000, and there's 30 seconds left in the video, and I can only imagine what's gonna happen in like that last 30 seconds. We can cut it off here. I don't know if there's too much more to say on the subject.
When you're sitting here with Dr. Phil, it's very easy to dissect, but
Right.
when you're living it day in and day out, it's confusing.
See, we should have ended the video. We should have ended the video.
Okay,
Look,
get the off my screen. Go back to The Bachelor, bro.
Everybody have a good day. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. And I hope you have a good day. And
Absolutely.
Don't get scammed, David.
Yes, please.
David, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Can I get $500?
That's not a whole lot. That sounds reasonable.